We love to talk about the matrix, but very little do we talk about the denial that we have of ourselves, and that's what really creates the matrix. Falsehood is the name of the game in a world full of lies, but it's also the name of the game when it comes to the lies that we tell ourselves. In this world of lies, pure honesty is looked at weird or politically incorrect, and you can't just tell the absolute truth to other people, and sometimes even to yourself. You can't tell it to yourself because you're too busy trying to make up and protect yourself from all the lies that you've been told, from all the lies that you've been telling yourself, from the uncomfortable situations that you dealt with in your life, the uncomfortable traumas that you dealt with in your life, the uncomfortable reality that has made up what you are today, and the uncomfortable, in general, the uncomfortable purpose that you're living right now when you know your true potential. All of those things play a role in the denial that you have over yourself. And all this does is it creates a world full of lies. It creates a matrix. It creates a world where pure honesty is something that people look at sideways. The truth of ourselves and of the world we lived in is commonly hard for the untrained mind to understand. It's hard for an uncalloused mind to really grasp. The truth of ourselves is sometimes even harder than the truth of this world for us to handle. And a lot of times we'll just look away from ourselves because that's what's more comfortable. That's what makes us feel safe. When we don't have to face the darkness, when we don't have to face the demons that actually lie within ourselves, the things that we've been running from, right? The only thing that you cannot outrun in this life, no matter how fast you are, is the truth. You cannot outrun the truth. You cannot escape from the truth. You cannot escape from your problems. These are things that you actually have to come to terms with. However, time and time again, we'll try to escape or we'll try to deny the truth of ourselves using drugs, going to parties, attaching to other people, attaching to materialistic things, whatever the case may be. We'll do millions of different things, millions of different charades. We'll create plenty of different facades, wear many different masks to cover up the truth of who we are. And a lot of times we won't even realize the hurt individual that we are projecting out onto this world. We won't realize the mask that we're wearing, that we're showing others, that we're putting into this world, and we'll wonder why things aren't going our way in life. We'll wonder why we're lost. And the reason why simply is because there's a denial or there's some kind of thing that you are not paying attention to. And all of it is within you. So when you start to pay attention to what's inside, then that's when the truth will actually come to fruition. A lot of times we'll wear masks or we'll carry out many different facades because we're scared that if the truth were to show of who we are, that our pride surrounding who we are will be diminished, or that our identity will be broken, that identity that the ego has created that we're so heavily attaching to, or this ideal for ourselves that we have in mind that we're so heavily attaching to. We're worried about what others are going to think. We're worried about what the world is going to see, right? This is why there's plenty of different outlets like Instagram or social media where all you can put is the highlight reels of your life, but you never really show the grind. You never really show when you weren't in that situation. You never really show what's going on a day-to-day basis. If we show what was going on a day-to-day basis, then we'd probably feel like people wouldn't look at us the same way. We wouldn't even look at ourselves the same way. We wouldn't feel as good about ourselves because we've attached so much validation, or we've attached our identity so heavily to the validation of others that we've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten how to properly validate ourselves from within. And we instead, because of the denial, because of the escapism, instead of really, generating all of the goodness from within, we are seeking that same goodness and that same truth and that same validation outside of ourselves, because now we become used to that. And now we built up pride in the denial And the more that we stay stubborn, the more that we stay prideful in our denial of ourselves, the more falsehood enters into our lives and creates many different matrices around the fake world that we're already living in, right? The universe is a mirror of your mind. And in essence, they're actually the same. So whatever you've created for yourself, whatever you experience on a daily basis, it's a reflection of what is actually going on inside of you. Whatever the truth of your life is, you have to come to terms with it. Whatever the truth of your situation is, you have to come to terms with it. And once you do come to terms with it, that's when you'll begin to see the spiritual payoff working for you in your favor. That's when you begin to see the advancement working for you in your favor. You can deny everything all you want. You can walk, talk, dress, act as spiritual all you want. But the more that you deny yourself, the more that you deny who and what you truly are, and what has gotten you to where you are, the more that you deny your own situation, the more that you block yourself from any spiritual progress. And you cannot make spiritual progress without truth, knowledge, and acceptance of self.